All right, guys, we are live today. We are talking about the Adios 9, not the Adios Pro 9. Made you think. So, this microphone right here is a prop. I don't think it's working. It was causing some issues. So, anyway, if you clicked on this video because you saw the Adios 9, you don't know anything about this live stream and you just want to know about the shoe. So let's talk about the shoe. Let's get into it. I have next to the computer the Takumi Sen 10. I have next to the computer the Adios Pro 4, which I just got in last week for testing. I took it out for my long run. I have the Adidas Audi Zero Evo SL. I got 100 miles in that, as well as the Takumi Sen. And then I have the Adidas Adios 9. So before we get into it, these shoes, I believe, are not going to be released officially in the US. I guess it did get released already in December. So it came out. The shoes are out. But um, I heard that they're not coming out to the US. And then so Andrew, you ask, but you don't ask. But I ask for you because I'm the one making this live stream. How did you get these shoes if you can't get them in the US? Did you smuggle them across the border? I did not. I am on the Supwell app. You want a Supwell app. And I saw them for $140 probably a month and a half ago in my size. So I ordered, so I got it, and then it was in the mail, and then it was almost going to get lost. It's a lot of drama, but took about a month. I've never had that happen. USPS came on through. They arrived. They are here. Sizing. I have read online that you should have size up because it's too tight, but it's not. For me, in fact, it has the same sort of bagginess as the Evo SL on the front, but not as bad. So the Evo SL has it's a little bit, there's a little room there. Doesn't bother me. If my foot is not slipping around and I'm not rolling, it's like spraining an ankle, like I'm okay with the upper. It's fine having a little toe room. So, in fact, I would say there's almost a little too much room, not it's too tight. I got US men's size 9. That's my sample size. I wear the sample size. So it's great for reference. I don't have to do any maths. Now, how it compares uh, to the other shoes that I just mentioned, the Takumi Sen 10 is minus 7 ounces. It's not 6.9 ounces and it's 198 grams. The Adios 9 is 27 millimeters in the heel, 21 to the forefoot for 7 millimeter drop, 173, 6.1 ounces. The Adios Pro 4 is 39 to 33, 200 grams, 7.1. Evo SL, 7.9 ounces, 224 grams. So I have not run in the Adios since the Adios 6. I don't know if you have any experience running in this shoe, but I used to love this kind of shoe. It's a very simple shoe, racing flat, just the standard shoe with a slab of 2025 minimal foam underneath. And back in the day when I first got into running, I loved the shoes. So the Audio 6 I got probably for $60 on Running Warehouse on sale or in the Adidas site because that shoe was always historically like $50. And then another shoe that I really liked in the same category is the Puma Liberate Nitro 1. That had nitrogen infused EVA, just a nice little slab on there. And that one was a 10 millimeter drop. So was the Audio 6, or maybe it was like a 9 millimeter drop, but it was 27 millimeters in the heel to 17 or 18. The Adios 9 has only a 6 millimeter drop, but it's the same kind of thing. Now, the Liberate Nitro, I could bend in half. If I had it, it was just really flappy. I could just bend it in half. The Audio 6 was really stiff. The Audio 6 had plain old light strike in there. And I watched a video today from my man Chris Sagasu. Yes, I know his name is Chris Stepanek, and I had him on the channel and I talked to him. He's an awesome guy, and he's my go-to. I've watched just about I watched his content on the Adios 9 because I never had any intention of getting this shoe. For the same reason I didn't get the Adios 7 and the Adios 8. And that's because, and we'll get to my run experience in the shoe, I promise, right? I'm just going to give you some context first. The Takumi Sen came out, okay? The 8 came out, and I loved it. There was like no other shoe I wanted to run in. No more Puma Liberate Nitros, no more Adios 6s, only Takumi Sens all time. Matt Beyer will tell you all the time. Takumi Sen. 8, 9 came out, got another pair of 8s. 10 came out, went on to get 9 on sale. 9 wasn't on sale, whatever else. Eventually, 10 went on sort of sale, like 40, $50. It was down to like 140, and I got it, but this shoe, the Takumi Sen 10, did all of the things that I would want to do in the Adios 6. So I ended up giving them away after maybe 38 or 43 miles. Like I just didn't have a ton of mileage in the Adios 6. And I was like, why does this shoe exist when there's all these other shoes that I could be running in? And the Liberate Nitro 1, I actually got to over 100 miles, and I liked the subtle bounce. You could take it for 4 to 6 miles daily, or you could rip in it. It's lightweight, and it doesn't give you an incredible amount of assistance. It doesn't push you along. 5K, 10K super shoes weren't a thing until the Takumi Sen came out for 180, and that was like the 5K, 10K killer or whatever, like the super shoe for that distance. And so the Adios 9 came out, and now as the Takumi Sen 10 is getting more built up and more built up, I thought, oh, okay, let me return to a very simple shoe. Now we'll see who's in here. Matt Beyer, there it is. It's all Takumi today, Matt. First in, no meetings today. Sample size here as well. It makes it really nice to just be a US men's size 9. Frank's in here. Frank is also a fan of the Takumi Sen series. He says, I've never run in an Adios. Frank, you weren't missing much, especially in that light strike. And I will say this. One of the first videos that I reviewed on the channel was a 5-on-5. It was first 5 miles in any shoe. It's 5 minutes on it. And it was the Adios SL, just the regular old SL. One day I'm just watching YouTube, RunTube, and Connor from Running Warehouses on here, and he's like, here's this shoe. And I was like, man, Takumi Sen is one of my favorite. Adios has a daily trainer. I bought the shoe. I ran in the shoe, and it felt like the Adios 6, but like a little bit wider. That's it. It was just like a little bit bigger, like a bigger place to land, but it was almost just as firm. And it's like, no, but we've got a puck. We've got a puck of the classic Light Strike Pro in there. But the problem is that the regular old Light Strike is the dominant gene in any shoe. That's it. And now guys, I promise you we're going to talk about the Adios 9, but that Light Strike is also in the Boston 12. The Boston 12 did not work for me. I'm glad I never tried the 10 or 11. And this morning, I watched a review from Chris Stepanek, my man Sagasu, on the Boston 13, and that man just saved me a lot of money. He said, because, I mean, I wasn't convinced I was going to buy the shoe anyway, because I tried the 12 to like 80 miles, and it was just so firm. And according to my man Sagasu, the Boston 13 is even more firm than the Boston 12 was. So if you thought the 12 was kind of brickish, the 13 apparently is also a brick. And it has that classic Light Strike, not the Light Strike Pro. And I think whatever else you put in there, it doesn't matter. And his idea, and I would love this for the Boston 14, I would try it, is if they use the more modern foam in the Boston 13, and it's a dual foam, and then you use the classic Light Strike Pro as the other foam. That would be incredible because I am not going to run in the Boston 13. Let's see. Here we go. JBS is in here. He says the Audio 6 was okay. Just a standard flat with the shank. I preferred the Ultra Racer back then. 0 drop, 22 millimeter stack. Guys, I've never run in an Ultra. I haven't. I can only run in so many shoes. Just hasn't happened for me. So same thing with Solomon. The Aeroglide might be my first try there. I'm going to shut this door. I heard one of the dogs barking. Yeah, multiple dogs. We had one, now we have two. That's the way it works. All right. Tony Brinkman's in here. He said, "What's up, Andrew Midlife? I finally got my Adios Pro 4s out of purgatory in Chicago." Awesome, man. After a week of clearing customs, they ask a lot of tough questions there. So the temperate climate, I don't know, man. Did an 8-mile run with half mile intervals at marathon pace. Love them so far. Okay, I also got the Adios Pro 4, and I also have ADD. So we're going to talk about that. We'll get to the Adios 9, I promise, too, right? But I love the Adios Pro. I do. I had 3 pairs of the number 2. Not stable. Not a stable shoe. Bouncy, fun. Had a half marathon PB in it. I love that shoe. The 3 grew on me. The Adios Pro 3 required a little bit of break-in. It did have a wider platform. It did have a bigger landing pad, but it also had this bullshit elf ear cutout on the outside of the shoe. So when I land, and I land more on towards the outside and roll in, if I'm landing, even like I don't come down perfectly all the time, especially 3 years ago, I always felt my foot wanting to roll outward in the Adios Pro 3. Not so much with the Takumi Sen 10. It's a little baby cutout in this one, but the Adios Pro 3, the cutout on the outsole really messed with me. I did not like it. Was not a huge fan of that cutout. The shoe itself, I put 250 miles on. It became my training run, long run shoe. It's great to do a lot of marathon pace effort in it. It didn't have a crazy amount of bounce. You still had to put the work in, but it still had a nice bounce, okay? Just compared to the competition. The Adios Pro 4 is a midfooter's delight. I love the Adios Pro 4. I think it's a fantastic, it does have more bounce than the 3. I know at this point, everyone's made reviews on the shoe because it's come out, December, January. It's been out for a while, so you guys already know all this stuff. But I did think I traded my Cielo X1 2.0s for this shoe on the Supple app. Common thread here. And that's also a mid-footer shoe. The Cielo X1 2.0 is a little softer. This shoe is a little bouncier, but Hoka's geometry, there is a level of precision involved. It feels like when I'm running in a Hoka shoe where I'm just rolling through and I'm like, I just got the Hoka roll. I really like this. I could go for a long time in this shoe. Precision is not a word I would use with the Adios Pro lineup. And never, Adidas in general, it just, the Boston 12 upper, even the Adios Pro 3, I budgeted an extra 5 minutes, not even joking, on my alarm when I knew I was going to run in that shoe, because I was going to have to pretty much unlace the whole thing to lace it back up and to get into it. So the upper on the Adios Pro 4 is a lot better. Now, this is relevant for the Adios 9 because you'll see like they're very similar in looks. The upper material feels like it's the same. I'm sure it is the same. There are a lot of the same kind of components, and I like that. And to Chris Sagasu's point, on the Boston 13, it's not matching the tempo trainer is not matching the super shoe. If you're like, I'm going to run in this and it's going to help prepare me to run in the super shoe, but then it doesn't because it's nothing like it. But the Adios Pro 4, I did a long run and I did maybe 3x2 miles at marathon pace effort. I will say I really enjoy it. It is also going to fall into a category of really good super shoe, but not S tier. That's the bullshit YouTube like rankings, tier lists. We F, A, B, S tier. It's not S tier. It's not going to be on the Deviate Nitro Elite version 3, the Fast Star Elite version 3. I would put the Metaspeed Edge Paris on there, and I haven't obviously run in the Tokyo series, and I don't know about the Ray, but that's good, Tony, man. I'm glad those shoes came in for you. I know I was holding my breath for the Adios 9. I know what it's like when it's just traveling around the world, a bit powerless. Matt Beyer says, I daily trained in the Adios 6 and the 8 after the Boston got screwed up in the V10. Long live the BA. I mean, the good Boston's V5 through V9. Now, you guys are old school. When I first got into running, the Boston 9 was on sale. I never bought it, and I regret it. Frank, I have regrets. Frank Sinieri says, Boston 9 was such a great shoe. Yeah, some of those like old shoes, I wonder how much of it is nostalgia. I ran in the Pegasus Turbo 2. I liked it. I got 200 miles in it. It was sneaky good. It was kind of a sleeper, but I'm not gushing over it. I'm not. There's a shoe right now, the Pegasus Plus. I just keep talking myself in and out of it. I'm like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. No, okay, there it is. And it just keeps dropping. There's like a pair for $60. I'm like, yeah, $60. But like, I don't need it, guys. I don't. Things I don't need. That shoe. I'm sure it would be good, but it's not. I really don't need it. I'm saying, I said it 5 times to you, but it's really just for myself. Stevie76 says, adios is German for goodbye. No, he just says for ... All right. What's up, Stevie? B. Zupan says, I just picked up a pair of Adios 9 and have really enjoyed them so far. I've really enjoyed them for some fast 400s as well as some easy running. Yeah, okay. Let's finally talk about it. How long are we into this deal? Okay, we're like 18 minutes in and I put it on the thumbnail. Everybody's already unsubscribed vehemently, like fervently unsubscribe. Write a letter to your local senator about how average of a runner I am and how much this sucks. Let's talk about the Adios 9. So I'm in my bursting phase, guys. I'm bursting phase. And there's 2 types of workouts that I put in my bursting phase. There's workouts that I'm bursting. There's a long recovery. It's okay. It's like I'm recharging for my next burst. It's going to improve my running economy. This works for hills, but it also can be intervals, fartlek kind of stuff. That was last week. Okay, this week, the painful stuff. Progressive overload to do 4 miles. So it was 4 200s at mile pace, 2 400s at 3K pace, 4 800s at 5K pace, and then back down the ladder, 2 400s at 3K pace, 4 200s. So flood the legs, a little bit of lactate there, and then try to run some 800s, keep the legs moving. The shoe is light. You feel like there's a lot of light shoes out there now, though. Lightness is in. Okay. I said when I put on the Streak Flight 2, it felt like I was eating a salad. I did not feel like I was eating a salad, but I also feel like it was maybe the white cheddar smart popcorn or something. Like it's also very light. And if I had to sum it up, it did remind me of the Adios 6, but more pliable and with a 2025 bounce, which is a dream, right? Like this is what I would really want. As the Takumi Sen has gotten more built up, I feel like, I know that there's torsion rods in here, but it's not, you see, you can't quite bend it, but it does still have some bend. It's nice. It has enough protection. And I would say, similar to the Liberate Nitro 1, I could run daily miles in this if I'm out there for 45 minutes and I want to run 6 miles or something, somewhere around there, 5, 7 miles, whatever. Not a long run for sure, but that for sure is my use case for the shoe, because I'm in this burst phase and I'm running in multiple shoes. And with speed day, it's like 1 day of speed. So I'm never going to get my money's worth if I just, but it's different. It's different than the Streak Fly 2 in that the Streak Fly 2 feels like a 5K, 10K racer. If it was like race day, like I would train in the Adios 9 and then I would go run in the Streak Fly 2. All right. Frank says the Light Strike boost combo in the Boston 9 did actually work. It was a chef kiss for firmness. Yeah, and a little firmness in a shoe that's low to the ground is good for responsiveness. I really am fond of the SJD shoe matrix that he used to do, where he would talk about any energy return, referring more to the bounce, and the snappiness is more as the responsiveness. And I think there's two ways about it, where like the Vaporfly 2 is very responsive and snappy and like kind of push you forward, versus a shoe like the Nike Invincible, which just has like a lot of bounce. At least the first one did. So Matt Byer says, I need to finish the second half of Sagasu's video. Stopped it to hop on mid-live. All right, Matt. Well, he might save you some money too, man. Because I don't know if you were interested in the Boston 13. But he said if you like the Boston 12, you probably like the Boston 13. And then Matt says the Adios 8 had a great feel underfoot, especially with the full Light Strike Pro in the forefoot. Alex Dominguez says, what's going on, Midlife fam? Glad to have made it to the live stream today. Had to cancel a couple of meetings, but hey, priorities. Yeah, we went 1 o'clock today. I couldn't escape the meeting today. I enjoyed the meeting. I'm here for it, but I got a short notice, and it was my bad last week. I thought we were going to do 1 o'clock, and it ended up being 12 on that Thursday. But if you miss it, you can listen to it later, but not live. Somebody asked if I could upload it to YouTube Music, so then that way you circumvent the ads. Maybe I'll just turn the ads off, or I don't know if you don't have premium, then you can't cancel it out. Like, because normally you can lock your screen and you can still hear it if you do have premium. And then so I don't know if I can be trusted to upload these to Spotify as it is. By the way, guys, I'm under contract with YouTube. Now that I run a sub 3, you have 90 days to like make your how I finally broke 3 hours in the marathon video, or you get kicked out of RunTube. You get your RunTube license suspended. So that one comes out Friday. And from now on, I think I'm going to do that, like breaking 3 in this one, just put a little bit more time and effort into making a better quality video and make less of them, versus there was a certain point last year where I was just like, I got to keep making content for the channel or YouTube doesn't push your stuff out anymore. And then it's just grabbing a shoe and being like, this is what I think of the shoe. This is my experience in the shoe, guys. All right, cool. See you next week. And that was it. And then now it's kind of like, okay, I'll put a little time to it. And then any shoe talk, I think I'll probably get out through here on the live streams, and then people can watch it later, but not live. And we can talk about the shoes then. So a murder of corgis. What a name, man. That's the best. That's what I feel like I got downstairs, but it's not. It's just 2. I'd be canceled. He says I'd be canceled if I released my shoe tier list. Yeah. Oh, not guys. Guess what? I got a box. What's in the box? I remembered this time. I wasn't planning on having a box. I wasn't. I really wasn't. because I put this order in on Monday. I got like 6 notifications within 30 minutes. Order's been accepted. Order's been there. Order's been shipped. Order's there. Driver's out with your. I was like, what's happening? How are you guys? This doesn't feel right. Like, because this was also through Nike. You could guess. Matt knows what these are. I finally pulled the trigger. I know I'm on a no-buy, guys. This is how well it's going. But I sold, to be fair, okay, look, I sold 2 shoes on the Supwell app. All right. So then I got some money, and then I brought a Cordos heart rate. Well, I've been going by vibes. I didn't really know what my heart rate was, which is whatever the sensor is. I want to say I preferred the Garment heart rate with the chest strap a little bit better, but it's all the same, I guess. Nike, yeah. They didn't send me any socks with this package. I got the ugliest colorway that I could find. Matt Beyer talked me into it. Rival Fly 4. So here we go. In the same vein as the Adios 9. Okay, like I said, we're bursting. We're running a lot of bursting. Takumi Sen is at over 100 miles. So that means I'm probably not going to get the Takumi Sen 11 whenever it comes out. Probably because I have a shoe problem. I made sure to mention that. My wife listens to these guys. I think she's trying to give me watch time. I think her ears only perk up when I say my wife. And then she's like, what would you say? You're getting more shoes? No, I'm not. I'm getting shoes. But that's crazy. No, I was just saying in theory, I'm not going to get these shoes. So it's the same kind of pliability, a little bit more of the support here in the heel. Or maybe Matt can tell us all about it. It's an ugly colorway, but there was $65. And I know it was bad because look, I've got the Evo SL right here, the Takumi Sen 10, the Adios Pro 4, and the Adios 9. I'm missing the Daily Trainer. I'm missing the SL2. I got online and the SL2 is $52. I didn't get it. I didn't buy it because I don't need it. I really don't need it. I don't need the $52. The SL2 for it, even if it's $52, because I know I'm never gonna run in it. It's just gonna be like, yeah, here's a pretty good shoe. It's like a good budget shoe. It's like, but I got all these other shoes. I'm probably gonna run in all these other shoes. I'm sure the SL2 is a great shoe. It was a lot of people's shoe of the year last year. I'm not gonna run in it. So and that was hard. That was tough. That was tough. But then I did see that the Rebel Fly 4 is like $65, and I was like, okay. And I am putting it to use. And then now I can compare the Rebel Fly 4 and the Adios 9. Not that I need to, because if you want to know all about these shoes, you go see my man Chris Agasu, because he's made videos on all these shoes. Now, these shoes fit his preference of shoes in general, but I also like some ground contact and more minimal shoe. Yes, I like a big bounce. Also, Puma Max, the Glycerin Max, it's nice. Okay, but go both ways. But we'll see. Matt Byers in here. Get the Peg Plus. You'll regret not testing it. Can't wait for your thoughts on the Rival Fly 4. Yeah, the Peg Plus is another one. Okay, because here's the deal. You guys, I mean Matt Byron Sagasu, like the trainers, the non-plated trainers who like to train in those and then race in those. I prefer the plated ones. If I had it my way, I would get the race shoe and do my training in the race shoe every time if I weren't testing the shoes. That's what I did last year. I had the Metaspeed Edge Paris, and I just ran in it all the time, every day. I didn't wear it to the grocery store. It wasn't my lawn mowing shoe, but I ran in it. I was like, I'm going to get my money's worth with this shoe. But it's the Adios, the Evo SL, the Adizero Evo SL. That's a plateless tempo shoe that I could use, a threshold day shoe. I have 2 other shoes that I like for threshold also. It's a Zoomfly 6. I can't stop reaching for that one. I really like that one. And the Mach X2. I just want to run those two shoes all the time. So if I get the Peg Plus, just never going to run in it. And then I got the Magic Speed 3 just because I wanted to. Like it was cheap. It was like $40. And I was like, and that's a great shoe. So I have just too many options and not enough threshold runs. So I know I'm not going to give it its fair shake. If someone gives me the Peg Plus, I'll run in it. But I gotta have the line's got to be somewhere, guys. Like everyone has a threshold. You go and you buy like the large cup of coffee, and they're like 806. You'll be like, "What? Is that right? Did I get oat milk? What don't you guys do oat milk for free? 806. Eesh. Last time I'm coming here, we went over the threshold. Okay. If rich people, maybe it's the Range Rover. I got a limit on the Range Rover, how much I'm willing to pay. But everyone's got a threshold. You got to put the line down somewhere, guys. For me, $300 on the shoes. And they have to draw Alpha Fly 1 comparison. I'm not going over that. I'm not doing a $400 shoe. I'm not doing a $500 shoe. I'm not. It's got to be like, this is my PR shoe. I'm going to wear it one time. I'm going to wear it at the race. I don't know what it is, but 300 is the limit for me. That's it. And then also there's got to be a line somewhere. And mine is the Pegasus Plus. It's my line, Matt. That's it. He says as he buys a Ravel Fly 4. Oh, Matt Byer says, not really interested in the Boston 13. Never ran in the V12 Boston. 11 was a brick, even after 190 miles. The Boston series is dead. You're dead to me. You're dead. Stevie76 says, Midlife will send an email to your supervisor to excuse you from your meetings. Yes. Yeah. It's, I have an account at privilege.com, and I'll just flex some of my privilege over to you, and then you'll be able to get away with it. I'll be like, oh, that guy? Yeah, that's cool. So funny. I went to a workshop and it was all about active listening. It was just fantastic. And then in this meeting that I was in, like I'm talking to one-on-one, right? And then we get carried away, and then I gotta go. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I talk a lot. He's like, that's why you're a terrible listener. And I was like, yeah, it is. You absolutely nailed it. Oh, so funny. Ross Murphy's in here. He says, yo, Andrew, about to go for a 6 mile with strides in my Adios 9. Apologize if this question has been asked, but did it bother your Achilles at all? If I wear the wrong socks, it shreds me. Ross, no, I haven't answered that. I do need to talk about this. Okay. Towards the end of my run in the Adios Pro 4, not the Adios 9, I was feeling it cut into my Achilles a little bit. And I was like, uh-oh. I've never had a shoe cut into my Achilles, except maybe the SC Pacer V2. The SC Pacer. This was cutting it. I don't know if I'm going to put a little Band-Aid back there, but it seems to be like this fold. I think the little elf ear in the back, like folds normally, and then it like folds back in again. And I think that's what's irritating me. It's not the actual heel part. So I don't know if I just have to like trim that off or cut it off or what, or maybe this is just too sharp in the heel color. I don't know. I did not have that issue with the Adios 9. It was only one run. It was a very challenging run with some dead legs. Dead to me. Andrew Cho says, I felt the same way about the SL. Good budget shoe, but probably never going to wear them. Yeah, that's the thing. Budget shoe. That's it. It's like good for the price. The same reason I didn't run in the Supernova Rise. Is that one? Is that a name? Am I making that up? I know I called the Skechers shoe the Aerospace, and then I was listening back to it. I was like, oh, that's not right. It's the Aero Spark. It's the Aero something. It's not the Aerospace. Yeah, the SL. There's too many shoes, guys. It's too many, and like, I mean, I guess people buy them, or else they would quit making them if they didn't make money off them. But my first half marathon, oh man, time trial around my neighborhood. Like, how far can I run? It was in these Reeboks. They were like Reebok flat types but not Nanos, not CrossFit Reebok shoes, but like Academy shoes. You get it at Academy for 50 or $75 or something. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I eventually I bought the Cumulus and I was like, man, this shoe is amazing. It's like a little cloud under my foot. Oh, JBS is in here. Yes, I got the Diadora Gara Carbon on Tuesday for 100 pounds. Did not really need them, but again, 160 off RRP, so bit the bullet. Meanwhile, I only have the Hyperion left with no plate. I heard great things about the Diodora Gar Carbon, but it's for us it's 300, man. So 300 US. And I'm not gonna be running in that one unless it comes available in the Supple app. And I said that a few weeks ago, and then I got on the Supple app, and whilst we were talking in the live stream, someone had posted one around my size, and then they were already sold by the time I got to it. So it figures. Matt Beyer says, I bought a second pair of SL2s for casual shoe with some running mixed in for $52. Ran in my first pair today with 270 miles. Box fresh pair on deck for tomorrow. Wow. Yeah. No, I don't, Matt. Cheers to you, man. Like every shoe we mentioned that you run in, you're like, oh yeah, Takumi Sane. I got 300 pairs in the 300 miles in those. It's like 300 miles in every shoe we talk about. Matt says Adidas calls their elf ear a blinker. Oh man, a blinker. I'm not sure which shoe has this that I had to use. I don't know if it was the Boston 12 or the Primex Strung. The Primex Strung upper was so flimsy. I really did like it because you could army crawl your feet in there and then scrunch it, and the upper can smash, and then like you just pull the upper over it. Dare I say sock like. And it was wonderful. You know what I'm gonna do? I've got a scale, guys. Okay, this is for coffee. Okay. That's it. We don't measure edibles, guys. All right, we're gonna weigh the rival flight boar. And we're gonna see. Oh wow, 8.1 ounces. Considerably, that's 2 ounces heavier than the 9. Well, that's interesting. Maybe it'll be more responsive. It does have a lot of the Nike outsole, that waffle pattern, that grip that just goes on forever. So it feels more like I would enjoy the shoe for daily as well, but we'll see. All right. Ross Murphy says, man, that's good to know regarding the Adios Pro 4. I considered it for my next marathon racer, but I'm afraid it'll cut me like my Adios 9. Fast R3 has my eye. Peace. Yeah. No, the Fast R3 is going to be my race shoe for every distance that I'm going to run this year. It's got the receipts. It's got the Boston PR, so we're going to still roll with it. And then the Adios Pro 4, again, like the Adios Pro 3, it's like a really good training shoe. I'll probably use it a lot in training, but I'm not so sure I would use it for race day. And they will be mindful that of the heel because I don't want to get my foot chopped off. So Kenny G's in here. He says NB Kenny G in the house. That's New Braunfels, guys. It's essentially San Antonio, but it's its own thing. Threw down some speedy strides in the Glycerin Maxes today. Big boys can do it all. Sorry to hijack the Adidas shoe talk. Just had to shout out the new Brooks BFF. I'm there with you. I ran 9 miles in mine today. I don't know if you guys can hear the birds chirping here as I stall and look for some stat here. Where'd you guys run today? You can put it in the chat. Nothing like a good. Oh, I ran 6 easy. Ran some strides. That workout was a killer yesterday. 254 miles in the Brooks Glycerin Max. And I really do think like one shoe to rule them all. Like if you built a 2-shoe rotation, I would have like a race day shoe that I could run up tempos, any speed workouts and any races, and then I would just have the Glycerin Max. It would be like my 2 shoes. Because that shoe can do everything. It feels so good. I want to reach for it most days when I walk into the closet, but I'm like, no, I got to put miles in this other shoe because I'm getting the shoe to whatever. So Kenny G says Adios Pro 3 for life, and the Takumi Sen 9 was solid as well. Super light. Yeah, I still have one pair of 8s that have maybe 100 miles in it. That I don't know when in my head it's like I'm gonna take them out one day, and then eventually some shoes I just give up on. I did buy the Liberate Nitro 2. It was not as flimsy as the first one. It was okay. I ran in it a few times, and then I could, just like the Adios 9 or 6, I never reached for it, and I eventually had to donate it. I was like, okay, just too many shoes. And James Benjamins wants to know Gar Carbon 100 pounds where? JBS. People are looking to hop on that deal for sure. Certainly not in the States. Matt Byer says the problem with running so many miles in all my shoes is they tend to need to be replaced around the same time. Meanwhile, I have to convince my wife I need a replacement shoe each month. Yeah, man, tax write-off for sure, but yeah, I'm still in theory, even though I bought the Rival Fly 4 for $65 and I sold a couple of shoes in order to make room for them, I still don't need any new shoes to August. The plan is still to go through August because you got to know like when, like, hey, I don't Rebel V5, I'm not missing anything. I don't think, right? Endorphin Speed 5, whatever. I'm might be missing something. I'm going to let it go. It's okay. The only one that's going to be like, but it's okay because it's full price is the Meta Speed Sky Tokyo and the Edge Tokyo and the Ray. It's like, okay, I don't have that money anyway. I'm not spending money for those shoes. I'm not going to race in those shoes anyway. I'll let everyone else run in them and say, okay, this is just like whatever. But all right. So Matt says he ran Easy 6 with strides, and the SL2 averaged 601 a mile on the strides. Yeah, Matt's a speedy guy working at those shorter distances, working his way to the half marathon. Yeah, you're going to need that Peg Plus once you hit the threshold, my man. So you know who's fell into my algorithm? In RunTube, the internet is just so amazing because it's like you watch one. I say you, but I mean me. I watch one video on the submersible implosion, and then all of a sudden it's like Titanic stories, and then it'll go into 9/11 and other disasters, and then I'll just go and I'll follow it, or I'll watch a Mr. Ballin story, and then they send me like storytellers, and then like RunTube will come around, and then I'll watch one video as guest starring some other guy, and then I watch that, and then that other guy's in there. Now, I don't know his name. He's in he's a Rand in Japan guy. He's a coach, and he's got a lisp a little bit. And I think because I'm a coach now, I don't know why, but there's maybe like more coaches are showing up in my feed. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've been watching a lot of his channel, and then he's got more subscribers than I do naturally, and then also his like all his stuff's there, and it's getting like, oh, I see these videos I'm watching have 12,000 views or a lot of views, and I'm like, where's this guy been? Like how does like I saw Rand in Japan when he had 21,000 subscribers. I was like, I should be in the first 1K, my guy. Come on, YouTube. Let's all like that's the majority of things that I watch is like running YouTube while I'm out on my runs. Serve me up a bunch of newbies. Serve me up 1K and under. In fact, I watch 1K and under running YouTubers, and because I watch some of them, the algorithm knows I'll give them a chance and then throws me more of them. You don't need to throw me this other guy until he's got 21K. Like, what was I doing? Sometimes people will comment on the channel. They're like, I've been doing nothing but watching run YouTubers for the last 3 years. Where's this channel been? It's weird. But I don't get a say in the marketing. Long live the algo. For the algo, got to pay your dues. Pano says, got my Adidas Primex Strung to 1,000 Ks today, but no more long runs in them. They have started giving me hot spots in the forefoot after 18 to 20 KMs. Wow, that's awesome. I ran in mine last week, maybe for a mile. I think they're like at 875. I'm gonna get them to 900, and I think after that we're gonna snowball to 1,000 miles. I think we're gonna have to do it. They still feel all right. They're not terrible. It's just they're not gonna feel as good as any of these new shoes. So there's that I have to contend with. And because I'm in a bursting phase and I'm doing a lot of harder work, then it's more polarized. And it's like, okay, well, I want the Glycerin Max today because yesterday I had the Adios 9. It's killed my, it's a lot. It's a lot on the midlife shins. Oh, man, had my son film me for that one. So we're going to do a full video on that with like more voiceover, more stuff. And I paid him in Smoothie King. He also takes Whataburger. You could pay him with a lot of stuff, but he had a swim meet the day before, and he's getting pretty good. But he's in 7th grade, so I remember. See, I told him, I was like, I think one of the other kids had a mustache, and then when he left, I swear to God, I saw him get in the car. He can't be in the 7th grade. Like he's driving, and you never know. He's hit or miss or whatever. But he got on the scooter and he was coming around filming me. He's got some good camera operator techniques, but he's into swimming. I told him maybe we could do a triathlon one day, like a relay between me, him, and then the first grader. I get the first grader off the tricycle. I mean, at first, we got to get off the training wheels and we got to go 2 wheels. Then I'll put a little threshold meter on there, a power meter for his, and then we'll start working our way there. But he got first, my middle child Miles, in backstroke and I think the breaststroke. So it's good. JBS says, had a tough on workout today, 2.4 miles warm up, 5x1 mile, sub 7, 2 minutes jog, and then a cool down until my heart rate is back below 127. That's a very oddly specific amount of mileage to warm up. 2.4. Is that the sweet spot? Maybe I ought to do that. I used to do 15 minutes for a while because it was like time-based. Hey, I got an hour. I do 15 minutes. My workout's going to take 30, 15 minutes cool down. But then I got faster, and then 15 minutes was so close to 2 miles, and then I just was like, I'd feel better about it if it was 2 miles. I don't know why I feel better about it. It's a nice round number. And then I'll do my workout. All right, 5 times 1 mile, sub 7. JBS going to crush that sub 3. All right. Luis is in here. Made it. Late, but made it. Well, I'm glad you made it, Luis. Better late than never. JBS says, I have a friend who is a retailer. Oh, this is in regards to where he got the shoes. I get his odd ones left. The 2 have come into the shop. Sorry. Oh, wow. You got the shoe plug, JBS. You got to have the connects. It's really good. It's good to have people in your corner. I also thought about this. Speaking of that, Kafuzi sent me the Evo. No, he didn't send me the Evo. That would be nice if he sent me the Evo. Midfooters, the light there on the first one. But he sent me the Endorphin Pro 4 for review. And I honestly, guys, I wasn't even gonna review that shoe. Like I ran in it and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. And then I did some like 10K work in it or like faster stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of like more rigid and stiff than I thought. It was more like the Endorphin Pro 1 than the 3. And but I was like, but I have to make a video for I have to make a video. He sent them to me for the purpose of review. He just doesn't give away shoes. So, like in the live stream, he's like, I got 3 pairs of these. I can give some to another reviewer who wears US size 9. I was like, I wear US size 9. He's like, okay, I'll send him midlife. Right. Then I reviewed it. I swear to God, it was a throwaway video. And then I don't check up on my YouTube very frequently. And then I got on and it's like, got like, I don't even know, 20,000, 30, some ridiculous amount of views and just a bunch of subscribers from it. And like it just blows my mind. I don't understand YouTube. I'm like on the Endorphin Pro 4. I mean, this should have been out for like a year. I still feel like it's been out forever. You're like, why that video? I don't understand. I don't I don't. Just like the same thing when I made a short on the Evo SL and I was like, hey guys, the Evo SL is one note. It's a fun note. I like the shoe. It's fun. It's whatever. And then get like this short has 80,000. Guys, I'm sitting in this chair. When I shoot the short, I put my camera right there. I did one take and I just posted it out to keep the algorithm gods happy. I just put it a little to the flame so they don't forget the channel. Here's my take on the shoe. Okay. I don't have time to shoot a whole video. I shot a short. I posted it. 80,000 views. This is a bunch of subscribers. I don't understand. There's no production value. I'm saying one thing about the shoe. A lot of people agree with me about the shoe. Now, maybe I don't know. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Charles Repub 9989 says, for me, the Adios 9, unless you race 5Ks or do fartleks, is not for the everyday runner who just goes out for his or her neighborhood daily. Charles, I am in agreement. I think 100%. I think you can, but it's the same thing. Like I think some of those really light, fast shoes that the pros can run a marathon in, the really aggressive ones. Like I don't think I could. I mean, I could do the marathon in the Alpha Fly 3, but that shoe was really responsive at like 5 minutes a mile pace in the power that I was putting down and how fast I was running. But it was not as responsive at my marathon pace. So I didn't get on with it. So I sold it on the Supwell app. Word of the day, Supwell app. But the shoe was almost like the shoe was too fast for me. But I think the better runner you are, you can make it work. And you think with the Adios 9, it's the same thing. It'll be good for like a speed day shoe for a lot of people. But the more skilled you are as a runner, you could run it every day. You just be like, okay, this is enough for me. It's good. All right. And I don't need all the protection and I'm fine. I can run. I think which is crazy is like you'll see the elites running in Nike structures and whatever. It doesn't really matter. They'll just kill it in whatever they're running in. So oh man. But yeah, I want to not only get the nuts to run a half in the Takumi Sens, but like the Street Fly 2s. I really do. Because someone's gonna do it. I don't know if my shins will be alive or my legs will just fall right off if I did that. But I think that would be a great time to see if I could do it. Because like I know Ioana was saying something about the Fast Star 3s. Like, I don't know how some people run 3 hours in it. It's like, well, I ran Boston in it for 3 hours. Though I got DOMs. There's a lot of hills in Boston. Spoiler alert. But the muscles in my foot were probably the last things to recover fully from being sore. So my feet were sore. I mean, it's a very light shoe and it is a very responsive shoe. You got to work for a while, but it is part of the challenge. Like I thought the same thing with the Metaspeed Edge. I was like the Edge pairs. I did a 10-mile block in it, and I was like, oh, I feel like Alex Honnold, is that his name? The climber on that Netflix show. Well, I mean, the movie that they made about him climbing the rock face. I can't, guys, I'm terrible with names. I'm not remembering all these names. He could not afford to make a mistake climbing that thing. It took him 4 hours, and he had no support. He had no rope. He could not, or he would die if he did it. That's kind of how I feel like taking a really super light shoe out for a really great distance. Like if I took the edge pairs, it's like, I mean, I won't die like he would have if he fell in the middle of his climb. I would just land more on the heel as my form fell apart towards the end of a marathon. But that's part of the challenge. It's like, can I hold form all the way through? I think it would be kind of exciting too. All right. Eboon 503 says, shh, don't let our shins know how much we load them sometimes. LOL. I won't. You got to do the banded foot wiggles. You do the banded foot wiggles, show them some love. They'll appreciate it. James Benjamin says, also didn't buy the Fast Start 2 for 114 pounds. Not going to use them at the moment. Yeah, that's a polarizing shoe, I think, on the Fast Start 2. It would be hard to spend like I would want to save for the Fast Start 3 with the money that I would spend for the Fast Start 2. So James Benjamins says, I don't know why I've been calling you James Benjamins when it's clearly James Benjamins. So many people talking about the Evo SL as an everyday walking around shoe currently. I don't think it's very stable. I don't like it at everyday paces. I'm not a fan of it every day, but I understand that some people do get on with it just fine. Stevie76 says, believe in the run gushed over the Streak Fly 2. Stevie76, I saved it to my watch later playlist right before I hit record on this. I was having issues with the live stream, and I had to reset my computer and delete it and start it again. I need to check that out. I also will gush over the Street Flight 2. It will be a top 3 shoe for me currently. It's really great. There's also kind of nothing like it where they've made a street version of a track spike, and they nailed it. They were like 1 for 1. Upper, midsole. I don't know about the outsole. We'll see. It doesn't seem like there's a lot there, but I mean, whatever. It probably shouldn't be. So yeah, it's one of the best of the year for sure. But it is like a race day version. I'd say like Adios 9, training in, running the Street Fly 2. That's what I'm doing. So Shane Miloski says the Endorphin Pro 4 is not a fast shoe. There's a lot of great reviews on it, and it's at a price point where it's cheaper than most super shoes, and people want to know if they can save money. Yeah, the Pro 3 for me was, it gave my Achilles a problem. It's just so it's so firm, and then the roll through of the shoe, like it just, I couldn't get, it was like it was so locked in, I couldn't unlock myself from it, and just the way that it rolled. And the Pro 4 didn't have that because it had that bounce, but the forefoot was so firm. And I remember thinking like, I can only go really, like if I do 5K, 10K stuff, it's fast. And that's really responsive up at the higher end. But that's not what I thought. I thought this was supposed to be a marathon shoe. And then I got online and I saw that at the same time there was a podcast from the Doctors of Running, and Andrea, I think maybe Matt, were going back and forth because they were having that same exact argument. Andrew was saying like, this is a fast shoe for me. And I don't really know about the marathon pace stuff. And the other guy was like, no. I can't go faster than this shit. It's not a fast shoe. So it's really cool. It's cool how everybody's different dynamics, like running form and everything, contribute to their experience in any particular shoe. I think it's hilarious because I'm like, this is my experience in the shoe. It's my experience in this shoe. It's one note for me. This is my shoe, And then people are like, you're wrong. You're an idiot. So strangers at the internet be coming for me sometimes, telling me and gaslighting me. Like, that's not your experience. The UOSL is clearly not one note for you. Matt is in here. He says, I ran a solo half marathon in the Takumi Sen 10. Great shoe and kept me honest. The response let me know if my form was breaking in the later stages. Well, that's cool. I have my half marathon PR in the Adios Pro 2 and then a shoe that's coming out later this year. But more, it's that one's still more on the old, like it's not the super lightweight new undercover shoe or anything. It just happens to not be out yet. It's not anything crazy. So, um, Luis Becerra says the internet police. Yeah, they're out there, you know. But I do read the comments. I do read the comments. Not gonna get. I don't necessarily take their advice all the time, but from well-intentioned people that I know I do for sure. So I had a guy in there asking for metric conversion. So my next one, sometimes I forget to put for my metric friends, I forget to put my KMs in there. So for the burst phase video that's going to be coming on not this Friday, but the Friday after that, we'll definitely have, and it will be with this run in the Adios 9 and around the track, and it's going to follow like a 2-week cycle on the burst phase, kind of like the priority of every type of run and kind of what it looks like for progressive overload and how you measure it. I know like not everybody's interested in that kind of thing. Like in Jack Daniel's running formula, he gives a weighted value to each type of run so you can track your training load so that you can make sure that you're responsibly handling it week to week.